Good morning from beautiful Istanbul. Today is Thanksgiving in the US, and we thought it would be super appropriate to attempt to make a DIY food tour of Istanbul's most popular foods. So we asked our friends, we asked locals, we did a research online, and we found 14 foods and drinks that seem to be like the most popular in the city. And we're gonna start with breakfast, and we're gonna end with dinner, and we're gonna try to do this all in one day. So wish us luck.
Our first stop for breakfast is Borek. This is one of the most popular breakfast dishes in all of Istanbul. So we have a potato Borek and a minced meat Borek, and it's obviously a savory dish, but it's delicious. It's one of our favorite foods in all of Turkey and Istanbul. It's like a very thin phyllo dough wrapped around these savory ingredients. It comes with chai. This is a little bit of an aggressive start for our meal. I don't know if we'll finish all of it, but let's see how this one is. So there are many different types of Borek. This one is baked. You can also get it fried, and they bake it in these like long, I guess like rolls that they pull together and then chop it into these bite-sized pieces. And it's delicious. Like the potato that I have is like a little bit spicy, but none of like the dough is greasy, and it's actually a pretty light and delicious breakfast. This is Simit. This is one of the most popular street foods in all of Turkey. For the last 3 months, we have seen it literally everywhere, and it's been kind of our bus station go-to. It's pretty basic. You know, it's toasted bread with sesame seeds. I think the dough is made with molasses, but it's a very affordable kind of on-the-go bite. So there's stands all across Istanbul. You just go, I think it's usually 2.5 lira, which is like, I don't know, less than a quarter, to just grab and go and fill your stomach. We ordered it with peynir, like a cream cheese, so it's a little bit more exclusive than the typical simit, but it's very delicious. It's toasty, it's soft, and it's one of those simple things that we're going to miss when we leave Turkey. It's weird to say, but it really is delicious. It's so simple, but it's like crunchy on the outside, very soft on the inside. It varies depending on like which place you go. Sometimes it's super crunchy, sometimes it's soft, but this is like the perfect mix. And the cheese is a good touch.
I am gonna miss this a lot. It's been a couple hours. This wasn't on purpose. We tried to try other foods before lunch, but a lot of the things were closed, surprisingly. It seems like Istanbul is very quiet in the mornings and there's not a lot of food options. So now we're heading to try some of those things to see if they're open. In a way, it's kind of like Thanksgiving, you know, you have a light breakfast and then you stuff your face with food for hours. We just stumbled upon a guy that we have been seeing here every single day selling this thing called halka tatlisi. Translates to ring dessert, and it's like a Turkish churro, but he always stands there with the biggest smile on his face. And we're not like sweet people, like we don't like dessert, but we're gonna buy some now because it's just so nice, and it's another thing to try from Louis. So let's go.
So I sort of messed up and didn't get the interaction on camera where we bought this from the nice old man. But what we have here is something that we don't know the name of. It's kind of like a churro. There's different types of like fried dough desserts here in Turkey, and this is one of the more like popular street versions of it. And there's like a little bit of pistachio, fried dough, and simple syrup. And it's not bad. Super crunchy and sweet.
I did not like it.
You didn't like it. I couldn't eat the whole thing. It's a little bit intense, but a couple bites is alright.
We are now walking to the old city, which is where most of the things that we're going to try for the rest of the day are. There's like a row with like a bunch of like traditional restaurants, and that's where we're going next, where we're going to make a quick stop at a square that is very hectic, and that's where they have one of the foods that I've been dying to try, which is roasted chestnuts. These are roasted chestnuts, or Kestane Kebap, and kebab actually means roasted in Turkish. We learned this in 3 months that we've been here, and I've been dying to try them. We saw them in Rize for the first time, and we were holding off on trying them until this video, and it's hard to resist because they smell so good and they roast them right in front of you, and I'm gonna try them for the first time. I thought they would be sweet, but they're not sweet. They're savory and nutty, and you can taste like the charcoal. Is that like the right word? Like the burn, the roasted part of it. These are delicious. I feel like we're gonna have a lot more of these.
So there's one food that we're not trying here in Istanbul, and that is balık ekmek, which is fish sandwich. And you literally see it everywhere, all over Istanbul. They're selling it from the boats here. They're selling it all along the bridge. But we don't eat fish anymore because of overfishing. And we also read that the Bosphorus is like way overfished, so it's not for us. This is Cag Kebap. We haven't seen this anywhere until we reached Istanbul. I think it's popular in a city on the eastern part of Turkey. And it's kind of like one of the more gourmet lamb kebabs. And what's unique about it is they do it on a horizontal spit, so it's not doner. They don't do it on like a traditional vertical. And I think the cuts of lamb are just like higher quality, basically. I think it's rib meat, and you can see a little bit more fat in there. So it's supposed to be really delicious. I'm very excited to try it. I'm getting hungry just looking at it, so it's time to try it out. This is very delicious. The bread is just super light, and you just use it to pick it up, and the lamb is tender, a little bit fatty, but in a good way. It's not like too lamby. I think you'll enjoy it too. But this is awesome. This is one of the best kebabs we've had.
This is Kofte, also known as Turkish meatballs. We've had our fair share of Kofte since we got here, and we have to admit that we kind of like maxed out right at the beginning of our trip, so we haven't had them in like 5 weeks. And honestly, we weren't planning on including them in the tour, but when we were doing the walking tour, our guide pointed out to this place that's been around since 1893. And we saw that they serve them like differently, with like a bean salad on the side and not how we've had them before. So that's why we decided to try them, because we do like them. Let's see. I miss them. That sauce is spicy, the red one, but in a good way. Lahmacun. Lahmacun is one of our favorite dishes in all of Turkey, and the first time we tried it was in Konya, and we fell in love with it, even though we thought it was pita, but obviously it's not. And what it is just like a thin dough, and they spread it thin, and they put the ground, I think it's beef and lamb mix with a lot of spices, some garlic and vegetables, and they put the meat while it's raw, and they spread it all over the bread and then put it in a brick oven for like, I think he said 2 minutes, and then they take it out, and this comes, and it is heaven. You put lime, Here in Istanbul, they serve it with lettuce, which is fine too. It gives like a little freshness and crunchiness to it. And to make it even spicier, even though we order it spicy, we put some of this and you roll it. It looks giant. I promise it's not that heavy. It is so good. Like it's spicy and garlicky and flavorful and spiced. Let me introduce you to another thing that we're gonna miss from Turkey. It's called Ayran, and it is the perfect pairing for most Turkish foods because the food here has a lot of spices. And this is just like a yogurt drink that is sour and slightly salty. And they usually serve it in a plastic cup, but in here they serve it like this with the foam, so it's like made like homemade or like made fresh. And it's delicious. And it's gonna be messy, so. It's so good. Are you full?
Not too full. I mean, we just had 3 lunches, but now it's time for dessert. And we're gonna have a chicken dessert. This is, I think, called Tavuk Göğsü. And this we definitely have not seen anywhere besides we're here in Istanbul. And it's basically a milk pudding with shredded chicken breast on the inside. So very unique. I'm excited to try it. And I think it was a delicacy made for Ottoman sultans. So we're having a sultan's dessert. And it's usually served with chai. And it should be good. Let's see. It's very good. It is very good. You don't taste the chicken. You don't really see the chicken. It's not too sweet. It just tastes like a very mild milk pudding, basically. And actually, now I taste the chicken. But it's still pretty good. It doesn't seem like a weird mix. I don't know. I like it.
Okay, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a little afraid to try this. I don't really taste the chicken, but it's like creamy and mild, but there's something like weird going on in there that I'm not too convinced. I don't think the sultans would be very happy with my reaction to this, but I don't like it.
I'm a sultan.
This I know I'm gonna like. I've never really liked baklava until we tried it in Gaziantep, and this place is supposed to be really good. I haven't had baklava in a long time, and this is the first time we see that they serve it with this cream. And we asked what it was, and he said it was milk sauce. So I'm just gonna dip it in there. Baklava is the best thing ever. We are in Taksim Square, and We have 2 more foods to try, 2 more drinks, but since the food is considered drunk food, we're having some beers first.
It's time for wet burgers.
This is called the Islak hamburger, also known as a wet burger. And it looks like a burger pretty much. It has meat in the inside, and the ketchup is kind of like a garlicky ketchup. And it does feel like wet, and it doesn't look that good. But it's supposed to be really good, so that's why we're trying it. We have to do 2 of these.
Don't finish it.
Like the beef is really good. That ketchup, like you can really feel the garlic.
I paid you.
Maybe it's because I'm drunk. This is supposed to
It's
be
like a-
drunk food.
50-cent hamburger.
I think it's pretty good.
It seems that. Oh, you like it? So the wet burger is like one of Istanbul's most famous drunk foods. So that's why it's probably so delicious to us right now. And the bun is like a little bit soggy. It smells very garlicky, which is awesome.
Just drink here. Outside no.
Yedi al oradan yedi. Oradan yedi al.
Tamam.
Yedi al oradan.
I just think it hits all the right spots. Like their garlic, it's nice and hot. Like a little bit spicy too. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's like chili in the ketchup. This is really good. We're gonna get one more.
Done with the wet burgers. Last stop of the night, of the day, lamb intestine sandwich.
This is our grand finale, the lamb intestine sandwich. So it's basically like a kebab, like it's grilled lamb intestine, like over like charcoal, and I think on the inside they put lamb fat, I think, and then they chop it up with different like vegetables and spices. It smells good. It looks pretty good. Like the bread is like fresh and looks pretty delicious. It's pretty good. It's good. Like you can tell that it's lamb for sure. And there's different spices in there. Like they added like hot peppers, I think. It's not super strong, which I'm a little bit surprised by. It's like a little fatty, but not like overwhelmingly like tasty. It's not bad, but it's not blowing my mind. So that is it for our Istanbul food tour. That was a lot of fun. It wasn't too filling. I think I could even have like another wet hamburger or two. But it was cool to try like different foods that we haven't like seen yet in all of Turkey, like here in Istanbul. So it was a lot of fun. I tried everything. Can't say the same for my partner in crime here.
It's true, I didn't try everything. I didn't try 2 lamb dishes, but I don't really eat lamb, so I think I did pretty good in Gaziantep. If you watched that video, I already tried it back then. Anyways, today I had so much fun, and it was great to try all these foods in one day, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm finishing up with an orange. I just needed something where the main ingredient wasn't fat. So, this is my final dessert. Good morning. It's a surprisingly peaceful morning here in Istanbul, and today we are going to Asia. So I mentioned this on another video, but Istanbul is the only city in the world that is on two continents. It's on Europe and on Asia, and most of the historic sites are on the European side, and most visitors probably don't head over to Asia. But today we're doing just that.